So I guess this is Windows 27 Golden Gate. I mean, technically we are still running Windows here, but it looks almost exactly like the new macOS 27 that even Apple hasn't released yet. And my challenge for today is to show you how you can make your own Windows setup look like this too, using just 2 simple free apps. We're not just changing the wallpaper and taskbar and calling it a day, we're changing almost everything. The theme, cursor, start menu, file explorer, icons, widgets, top bar, and even adding a spotlight style search. Not even the settings app can ruin the illusion. So by the end, hopefully your friends won't even be able to tell if you're using a Mac or a Windows PC anymore. Okay, so let's get started with the first of the 2 tools. This is Windhawk, a really popular app for customizing the Windows UI, and I bet that most of you already use it. It lets us modify most UI elements like the taskbar, start menu, file explorer, or even the settings. It's the GOAT of Windows customization. Now this is the website where you can find the download for this app. Of course, I got that linked for you down below. Just press download, and after that run the installation file and select the language and storage location for the app. This should be a piece of cake for you actually. As you can see, the app offers a very big selection of different mods for all kinds of Windows customizations, but first up we are looking for a new Windows theme. A Windows theme is basically a package that changes the overall look of Windows. Most importantly, the wallpaper, cursor, and minimize buttons. So this is perfect to make your PC feel a lot more like a Mac already with those classic traffic light buttons. This step is a bit technical though, so if you want to be safe and don't like troubleshooting Windows at 2 AM, you can set a restore point on Windows by searching for restore point in the start menu. Then look if all your drives have protection and just hit create. This will allow you to go back to a version of your system bug-free. Okay, so now open up this website linked below. From here we can download the theme we would like to use, and by the way, we will also use some code from this creator later to customize the settings app. Anyways, scroll down, dodge the ads, and click on this blue download button. Now comes the hard part. Open the downloaded resource folder in your file explorer, and in it the theme folder. Then just copy both of these files. Next on your drive, where you have Windows installed, open the Windows folder, and in it the resource folder. There you can find a theme folder, so go ahead and open that to place the files in that we just downloaded. And with that, we actually changed nothing yet. So let's install our first Windhawk mod now. In the app, search for UX and click on the UX theme hook mod. Now click install and ignore this warning. As always, the resources are saved and used by me, unlike saying watch this before doing literally anything. After we got that step done, let's right click the desktop and click on personalize, and then on themes. Here you can already see the macOS wallpaper, so just click on it and it's applied. With the wallpaper and buttons, Windows feels already a lot more macOS like. But honestly, I hate this version of the Mac wallpaper. But luckily I found this website where we also have the dark mode wallpaper, which is so much better, and also this cool Mojave wallpaper, which I love to use. These 2 backgrounds are simply a lot better. Okay, now let's see how we will Macify all the Windows menus like the Start menu and Notification Center. On macOS they wouldn't even exist like that, but removing them would basically make this setup unusable. So let's just give them a glass design. First up in Windhawk, look for the Start menu styler and install it like before by ignoring the warning again. This time also go over to the settings, and in this drop down, let's look for a macOS glass style. And here it already is. Select it and save the mod to get the glass Start menu. For the Notifications menu, the process is also quite similar. Go back to Windhawk as well and look for the notification styler. Once you found it, just install it like you did before. Again, also go in the settings and select the transparent option, this time in the drop down. I bet your fingers will look like this after the video because you will have to repeat this step a few more times. Once you save it, your notifications and Wi-Fi settings also look very Mac-like and fit perfect to your start menu. One thing that is still clearly not macOS-like though is the taskbar, and changing this one has to be one of the highlights of the video. Your taskbar will not only look but also feel very much like the real deal after this step. Anyways, open Windhawk again and get the taskbar styler in the same way as always. Now you will also have to go to the settings, and in the drop-down menu look for the macOS 26 style. I prefer to use the clear dock version, save it, and now you can admire that glass look on the icons and the whole taskbar. Also, quick side note, this is actually a pretty new mod, and it was made by someone from my own Discord community, which is honestly really cool. So if you want to see these kinds of custom themes early, definitely join the Discord. People there are always cooking up some weirdly creative stuff. And if you like the way this Discord looks, I also made a full Discord customization video where I explain the setup in detail. Now let's also add some classic macOS animations. We'll use a smoother scroll animation and of course the famous genie animation. The mod for the scroll animation is called dock animation, so just install it in Windhawk like usual. The creator also recommends using some custom code to make the animation smoother. You can find that code in the resource folder on my website, linked below. Once you've downloaded it, open the folder, open the txt file and copy the code inside. Then go back into the Windhawk mod settings, open the advanced section, paste the code in here and save everything. And now you can spend hours every day just scrolling over the taskbar because it's so satisfying. Now for the app closing animations called Genie, we need a mod very surprisingly called macOS Minimize Animation. So just install it in Windhawk like usual, and technically that's already it. But if you're like me, you might find the animation a bit unresponsive at first. To fix that, open the mod settings, scroll down a bit, select the old animation style, and apply it. I personally find this version a lot smoother, even though I am not a big fan at all about these animations because they take so damn long. But honestly, what would a macOS customization be without slightly overdramatic window animations? Now we finally have a Mac dock with all the classic animations and everything has glass. Well, except for the File Explorer. So let's fix that, and along the way let's also change the icons to macOS. Okay, first up, let me show you how to get those glass-like elements here. For this, we simply need to install another Windhawk mod called File Explorer Styler. After installing it, open the mod settings and use the drop-down menu to look for the OS 26 design again. Let's go with the compact version here, so select that and apply it. Also, in the settings, set this option to Mica Alt and set the background effects to the entire window. Now you might think this will actually change something visually, but it basically does absolutely nothing. However, it helps prevent a future bug, so just do it and pretend it was important. Now the only thing missing here for this to look good is transparency. We can easily achieve this by using a Windhawk mod called Translucent Windows. So install it like usual, open the mod settings, and unselect the new system colors option. And now our File Explorer finally has full transparency, which makes it fit the whole macOS glass style way better. We just have one slight problem here. This mod actually applies transparency to a lot of other different apps, which completely breaks them. Luckily I found a fix for that. Just go over to the advanced section and add explorer.exe to the inclusion list and enable ignoring the mod's exclusion list. This will make sure transparency will be only applied to the Explorer. Perfect. But we are still missing the macOS icons I promised you. Luckily getting them is super easy. The next Windhawk mod for that is called Resource Redirect. Install it and simply go to the settings and in the drop-down search for macOS and select the dark mode icons. Here also make sure to disable the folder thumbnails before saving the settings. Not gonna lie, these icons fit really well and bring this customization just another step closer to the Mac look. Just a quick recap here. We now have a glass taskbar with animations, fitting start menu and notification styles, the real macOS wallpaper, a transparent file explorer, classic minimize buttons, and a bunch of smaller details already in place. But before I show you the last few steps for adding macOS style widgets and the iconic top bar, let me quickly show you the glass settings mod I promised earlier. The last mod you will need here is of course the settings styler, and you can install it like all the times before. Unfortunately this time we will need some custom code again, and as I mentioned before, you can find it on the website of this guy again. Just scroll a bit down until you find this code section and copy it. If you remember from earlier, we now have to go into the advanced section of the mod settings. In this area, remove the old code, paste in the new one, and then simply save everything. And don't worry, this will not kill your system probably. Now you simply have the coolest settings menu of all your friends. With that, most of our UI changes are now completed and the only things missing for the perfect setup are the top bar and Mac widgets. But first, to actually place any widgets on a Windows desktop, we need some third-party tool, and today we will use Rainmeter for that. I know there's a big surprise for all the customization experts out there, just kidding. So first up, download the Rainmeter installation file from this website, which is of course linked below. After that, you can simply run the file and follow the installation process. And honestly, this part is so easy that even a 3-year-old could probably do it. Now you might ask yourself, great, but how do I actually get the widgets? Well, with Rainmeter installed, we can now use .rm skin files to install custom widget packs. And the first one is actually already the macOS style top bar, including this glass-like control center here. This skin was also built with AI because I couldn't really find a solution that had this kind of clean control center style already. And since the AI actually did a surprisingly good job in the last video, I had to give it another shot here. By the way, feel free to check out that AI experiment as well. Now the setup is actually super simple, so if you downloaded the resource folder before like you should have, then you can now simply go back into that folder and run the rmskin file in it. This will open the skin installation menu where you just need to hit install, and that's basically all you have to do. Now on the left side you have a few shortcuts, and if you click on the Apple logo, you get a small menu where you can even adjust the size of the top bar so it matches your screen better. On the other side, we have the control menu, where you can adjust things like sound, display brightness, Wi-Fi, and a few other settings. And honestly, this looks really close to macOS. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually a little bit proud of myself here. Next up, let's also get that iconic Apple desktop clock, because that can't miss on any Mac-like setup. The clock is from a widget pack called JackScore, and you can easily download that one from this website linked in the description. Once you have the file on your system, you can simply run it and... What the heck is going on here? Is this a virus? Well, no, don't worry. This terminal process always runs when installing this mod, and the mod is actually pretty trusted in the community. I've also used it myself and haven't had any security issues with it so far. When the installer finally starts, also don't get confused by these hieroglyphs. Just hit continue and then skip all steps until you get to this batch installer. Here unselect the first two mods and instead scroll down and select the modular clocks widget and install that. Normally now the widget settings should launch right away. Simply go to general, select the macOS clock style, and then activate the mod with this toggle, and as easy as this you got the clock finished. Last but not least, we can also get some of those other classic macOS style widgets like calendar, weather, and system resources, all in this pretty cool glass-like style. These are part of the Big Sur 26 widget pack, which is available on this DeviantArt page. First up, click on the download button to get the needed ARMskin file. Like before, after you run the file, just click install to start the setup. Then first in the open menu, click apply theme and choose the sidebar theme. Now please don't immediately uninstall the skin again when you see these old and boring Mac widgets. We'll customize them to look more like macOS 27 in a second. Before that though, right click on the ugly grey background, go to more actions and the hit unload mod to get rid of it. Then also repeat this process for all the other widgets you don't want to use, like those shortcuts, clock and music widget. Once you've arranged the rest of the widgets, like I have here, you can go into style and apply the dark glass look. You can also remove the labels from the widgets, which gives them the perfect clean macOS look, no discussions. By the way, if you want to make a widget bigger, just right click it and use the alternative option, and under settings, you can also adjust the widget size so everything fits better to your own screen. And with that, we are finally finished with all UI changes and custom widgets installations. You might have realized one thing though, and that's that we didn't get any Spotlight like Search Launcher yet. If you are a big fan of such search launchers, I can recommend you Raycast for this setup. It looks modern, has the most features out of these apps, and is genuinely really cool. By the way, you can learn more about it in my detailed video on that topic. And this is the final macOS 27 Golden Gate setup on Windows 11. We changed almost everything from the taskbar and Windows menus to the file explorer, and even the cursor to even a fitting custom top bar. And honestly, this looks way closer than I expected. Still, of course, there are some giveaways that we are using Windows here, but I like this macOS Windows design hybrid, and I would love to know what you think about this setup. If you have some more ideas, leave them down below, and with that said, support us with a sub and a like, and see you soon.